Hi, welcome to Through a Handler's Eyes. I'm Jo Hilda and I'll be interviewing assistance dog handlers Australia-wide. We won't be discussing legalities or training methods, just the journey of the human and their dog. Hi, today we're going to be talking to Ariza. She's a bit different to our normal assistance dogs handlers. She had a dog called Daryl that she rescued and was hoping for Daryl to be her assistance dog. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So we're going to talk about that part of her journey. So how are you today, Ariza?
Hey Jo, I'm doing pretty well, and I'm quite happy to be on this podcast. And I must say, I enjoyed listening to all the previous ones. I think there's a lot learned from every single person that you've had on, and I want to say thank you for those guys because it does sometimes for some people take a lot to open up about their failures, successes, and what they find uncomfortable.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. Now, was Daryl your first assistance dog?
Yes. Daryl was my first assistance dog, owner trained as well, and I was volunteering for a organisation who offered some support and help. They're fairly new to train him as my own dog for PTSD. But I mean, sometimes dogs just don't have it, and sometimes dogs have certain things that you don't want to destroy, which is what's happened to Daryl. And one of the things that I found with Mr. Daryl is he's an exceptionally social dog with other dogs, and he's really good bringing dogs out of their comfort zones. He's good with dogs who are uncomfortable and things like that. And once I started to suppress that natural talent when we're working, I saw that it created a lot of stress for him. And at the end of the day, I decided I'm not going to destroy this dog's fabulous personality to get what I want. But the second thing he had a problem with was a bit of resource guarding with dogs, not humans. But it wasn't frequent. But he's a very tall dog, and he can come across as very scary. And I know that for me, I would think an assistance dog shouldn't have that in them, and I didn't want to take that risk, and I didn't want to put in the amount of work it was going to take to address that because that puts a lot of stress on me as the handler. So I decided, you know what, let's give Daryl to a family who's going to love and appreciate him. He's going to make a wonderful pet. They're going to learn how to manage him and things like that in terms of his resource guarding, teaching him, faith and handler and stuff like that. And you know what? He is doing amazing.
That's wonderful. Now, you told me he doesn't have an official job, but he does do something. What's he doing now?
Okay, so Daryl was adopted by one of my personal trainers' friends at my gym called Kaz. And this particular gym is fabulous it's a very supportive and community environment for people with mental, shall I say, problems and struggle to get into fitness. So what Daryl's been doing, he's now been dubbed the official mascot of the gym. And what happens is he actually makes people feel very comfortable coming to do personal training, coming to do little group classes. And Kaz has told me, and she said, you know what? People walk in, they look around and they go, where's Daryl? And she goes, hi, I'm well too. Thank you for asking. So he's not an official therapy dog or anything, but he's really creating comfort for people, especially when they struggle. I've watched him in the gym when people kind of go, ugh, I can't do this, and they lay down and they take a breath. Daryl actually runs over to them, and I mean, obviously, it's not. You could say he's checking in with them, really, and he just provides comfort because he loves cuddles. Sometimes they play with him, which obviously he loves too, and you can see how they get that, I don't know, serotonin look, and they just decompress from life and stress and they just get back into it. So he's been a fabulous addition, not only to the gym, but to their family as well.
Well, that's wonderful. There is a saying that if you don't give a dog a job, he'll find his own. And luckily, Daryl's found a job that's not destructive. It's helpful, which is really good.
Absolutely.
So how did you feel after you made that decision?
Well, I think the biggest thing was, so I have a second dog named Ziva, and we have our little pack, and Ziva was a little bit stressed because she was like, "Where's Daryl?" But I think 2 days in, she was like, "Oh, cool! I've got the house to myself." Personally, I don't now have that little guy who's helped. I don't have Daryl anymore helping me during nightmares, and when I disassociate and I pick scabs and rip like skin off my feet and stuff. So I now have to train Ziva to be my Triple H, which is my my home helper hound, to kind of help me out with that. And yeah, she's not doing too bad, but she's not assistance dog material. I just wanted to throw it out there. She's a
She's not a public access type dog.
Oh no, she's a Dutch Shepherd cross Belgium Shepherd, and she's extremely easily stimulated by movement. So she will not be. Don't get me wrong, she's fine in terms of chilling out, but boy, she's busy. She's just not busy in the right stuff. So I felt a little bit how do I say, disconnected, and I really enjoyed the training with Daryl. So it didn't take me very long actually. I'm fostering a puppy at the moment. His name's Jimmy, and I'm now training Jimmy. And I've actually found that the actual training of dogs and raising puppies and things is what I'm really finding enjoyable, which helps me decompress from life. So I've spoken to my allied professionals, and we've decided that if I keep doing this and fostering puppies for a rescue and helping and educating people with that I possibly don't need an assistance dog anymore.
Oh, well, that'd be great. And you're okay going out in public without that support?
Yeah. I'm pretty good at it now. If I feel bad and not capable, I actually arrange my appointments and times in a way that I don't have to be put into that situation. So I now have those managing techniques. But I mean, we'll see how we go. Maybe later in life, maybe there's a period of time where I'm going to need that help, and I'll cross that bridge when I get there. In the meantime, I'm going to practice my skills and helping other people with their dogs, and if they need dogs trained in their home to help, or later on doing some assistance dog stuff and therapy dogs, I'm currently busy with as well. I'll be so much more rehearsed and better in it as well. So at the moment, I don't need an assistance dog, but you never know.
No, you've got all that puppy wonderfulness, and sometimes you just need something to get out of your own head and to be concerned about. Hey,
Absolutely.
So this is really going to be a nice short interview because you haven't got Daryl anymore. But when you came to the conclusion that you weren't going to get another assistance dog, what sort of thought process went through your mind, not just your allied health professionals, but yourself?
You're going to have to explain that question to me. I don't quite understand what you mean.
Well, I mean, you knew you had to get rid of, give Daryl to someone who was better suited for him. Then when you sat back and thought, well, do I need to get another assistance dog or not? How did you, in your own mind, come to that conclusion? Even though you had advice from your allied health professionals, you still had to make that final choice.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's two parts to that question, actually. The first one is letting go of Daryl. So I have been raising puppies since 2010, and then they move on. So I don't actually have that emotional connection in terms of that. And I've also been recently diagnosed as a high functioning autistic, which makes sense why I don't always have that emotional connection to people and not things, but dogs and friends and stuff like that immediately. So I always had the idea, because Daryl actually belonged to this organization, but he was my dog, that he wasn't mine, and he would be. Even though the previous dogs weren't assistance dogs, they were working dogs. They also belonged to companies, but they were my personal working dogs. So it's quite a different setup. Where Ziva, I got Ziva for me. So Ziva's completely different. If I had to get rid of Ziva, that would be an emotional thing. The second part is when I was sitting down And I went through all these diagnoses and I went through all the reports and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, look, you need to be very realistic in what it is that you want. What is it that you need that's going to help you? And essentially, I came to the conclusion I need people to help keep me accountable. So that's why I've got things like personal trainers and my psychologist and all that. But then I need a coach that can
Yeah.
help me in social aspects. So being a high functioning autistic, life now makes sense why I got in trouble because I can't
Yeah.
read social cues and situations and unwritten rules and between the lines and all that stuff. And to be honest, a dog's not going to help me with that. A dog's not going to help me improve in that regard with that skill. A dog will only be able to support me when I'm that stressed and help me back to then be capable of um, meeting those requirements. So I've never had a
Yeah.
problem with failure. I think you learn more in failure than you do in success, but success is nice because
Absolutely.
it keeps encouraging you to do the right stuff. But a dog can't really help me navigate social situations. A dog can't help me make decisions, or I can't talk to dogs either. And that's one thing I didn't realize. Me as an autistic, if you take a pen and you go, hey, this let's pretend this is an aeroplane, I'm like, you're an idiot. It's a pen. So I don't talk to
Yeah.
dogs like some people do, and I understand their need for it, and I have no problem with that at all. But I can't talk to Daryl and discuss problems with him or Ziva. It's weird for me. I can't do it. So I thought to
Yeah.
myself, if you justify it, do you really need an assistance dog? And I also looked at the aspect of, shall I say, the cons of having an assistance dog, and I thought, no, no, I don't. So I came to that decision of no, I don't. The assistance dog is not going to be the right tool for me. And to be honest, I find it'll be disrespectful to people who actually need an assistance dog to go, yeah, but I just want one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you went through that thought process, because some people just decide I want one and don't, apart from the legal research and stuff, they don't research what an impact in other areas of their life having an assistance dog will have. And I don't think people realise that it does have a very big impact for some people.
Absolutely.
So,
There's a quote from a guy called Dr. Kelly Starrett, and he always says, the quality of your expectations will dictate the quality of your actions. And essentially, what it means, it does talk about, or how I see it is, if you have a goal and you're aiming very high and you have to go through a lot to get it, you will. But if you go, oh, I just want an assistance dog, and you're starting to hit these obstacles and challenges, you might find that you won't do it. And one
yeah,
thing, one thing that I'm very, very high on is the welfare of the dog as well. And
yes,
sometimes
absolutely.
and sometimes people don't realize that when you have an assistance dog, it is also a partnership, and you have to be aware of the welfare of the dog. If you're just going into it with being extremely selfish, and you're not meeting the dog's needs. And but remember, assistance dog is a dog first, and a dog is a predator.
Yes,
So if you're not meeting
yeah,
this big predator's needs, and you're not helping them decompress from stress, because he's got stress of life and then stress of the job, you know, um,
yeah,
you might find that you're going to have a big problem. And maintenance of the assistance dogs, not just their actual skills, but also, grooming is one thing, and their health. I mean, you've got to make sure that dog is not a health hazard to others. So
that's right.
if you start to look at the hard work, the sacrifices, the time, the effort you have to put into the dog, and you go, you know what, this isn't worth it, don't do it, because you are going to
No,
do more damage and harm, not just to yourself and the dog, but to the industry as well.
that's right. Absolutely. All right, well, thank you very much, Ariza. I really appreciate you talking to me today, and good luck with everything. I really hope that the puppy caring and training is exactly what you need long term too.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and keep up the good work with the podcasts. I look forward to the to hearing other people.
Oh, thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. If you've got any questions or you would like to be a guest, email me at throughahandlerseyes@gmail.com. Bye.